everybody knows what Derrick Rose, Tim Tebow, and Jeremy Lin all have in common.
They're Christian.
Wow, yeah. So, well, besides being phenomenal athletes, like you said, they are Christians and they're part of the Christian athlete culture, which brings me to my artifact, which is this jersey. This jersey is from a Christian semi-professional soccer team called the Seahorses. And this jersey doesn't just allow me to participate in my culture, it also kind of represents what this culture means to me. So the first thing I'll be talking about today is what the Christian athlete culture is all about, along with why it is that I identify with it and how I personally came to be a part of it. On any sports team that you play with, the jersey is something that you use to distinguish you from your opposition, as well as to unite you with your team. Furthermore, it's something that you can take pride in because a jersey is usually something that's not just given out, but rather that you have to earn. For Christian athletes, we take the jersey a step further in that we don't just use it to play with, however, we use it as a platform or field, if you will, to allow us to do God's work and show our faith. And what I mean by that is, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen like Derrick Rose or especially Tim Tebow after a game when they're given an interview. A lot of times they give the glory to God and they give the credit to God and they don't take their own successes upon themselves, but rather they're giving the glory to God and talking about what a blessing it is. So as a upcoming Christian athlete, I try and emulate that in things that I do and not taking the successes that I may have in the field or in life upon myself, but rather giving the glory to God. Which brings me to what the Christian culture Christian culture is all about, which is it's sort of similar to the student athlete culture in that you can't just focus on your sports, you have to focus on your studies, because if your studies aren't on point, then you can't even play. I know that because I actually play here at Cal State LA. The Christian athlete culture is similar in that you can't just focus on your sport, you have to focus on maintaining that relationship with God and allowing Him to lead you where it is that He wants you to go. This isn't to be misconstrued as that Christian athletes don't play with the same intensity or with the same passion that normal athletes do, but rather that we just have our priorities straight and we know that without God and without our faith, being able to play the sport that we love wouldn't even be possible. So now that you kind of understand a little bit about what the Christian athlete culture is all about, I'm going to tell you why it is that I identify with it and how I became part of it. I grew up in a pretty Christian-oriented family, mostly because of my mother. She's an amazing Christian lady who was always taking me to church and reading the Bible to me and just helping me develop that personal relationship with God. Kind of on the polar opposite side, I have a dad who is very goal-oriented and not necessarily Christian to some extent, but he really just wanted to have a son who was a successful athlete. That's all he really personally cared about. And so from a young age, I knew what it meant to be a dedicated athlete and what it would take to be successful in it, along with what it meant to have the love of God in my life. So it wasn't until, however, I played with this soccer team, the Seahorses, that I started to combine these two things and identify with the Christian culture athlete Christian culture as a whole. Rather, I kind of just had my Christian life on one side and my sports life on the other. On the Seahorses, we are more than just a soccer team. We're kind of what they call an evangelistic soccer team, which means that we go around doing what we consider God's work, and whether it's doing a camp for kids, not just teaching them how to play soccer, but also doing Bible studies with them and helping them develop their own faith. We also go on mission trips, which are really cool in the sense that we're able to go to parts around the world that normal missionaries aren't allowed to go to because of our affiliation as a soccer team. We go there, we play soccer with the people, we are able to form a bond, and because we share this love of the game, and once they kind of gain that sense of trust with us and let us in, we're able to talk to a little bit about our faith, give a little bit of testimony, and answer any questions that they may have. And sometimes they really could care less about what we have to say and what it is that we're trying to do, but to me that's not really the point. The point is that we are able to go there, give them a hot meal to eat, fresh water to drink, and most importantly just able to take their minds off the trials and tribulations that they're faced with every single day, because a lot of the places that we go are third world countries and people that are very much less fortunate than ourselves. So in the conclusion today, I spoke a little bit about what the Christian faith is all about, and Christian athlete culture is all about, along with why I personally identify with it and how I came to be a part of it. And I hope that you kind of understand why this jersey is more than just a piece of clothing, but rather a representation of me and what I believe in. And Also, more so than anything, I hope the next time you see Derrick Rose or Tim Tebow doing the Tebow out there on the field, you know, you look past their successes that they may have on the field and look at the people that they are and the things that they try and represent. Thank you.